If you're writing a CA foundation exam in September 2026, please do not do what I did. So, welcome back to my channel, everyone. For context, I am Manasa. I passed my CA foundation exam in May 2026 with distinction. Here are my scores. So, I know for a fact that there's a lot of videos telling what you need to do, how you should study, what your last minute preparation should be. But honestly, I think it is not talked about enough on what shouldn't be done. Like, it's not exactly what shouldn't be, but from my experience, I wish someone told me to avoid the things that I'm about to tell you in this video. So first off, when it comes to the exam preparation or syllabus coverage in general, number one is, do not just blindly revise. This is a mistake that I did, that I did not do enough exam oriented studying, especially for law. It's not like I didn't study referring to questions, but I didn't refer to enough questions, especially as I said, for a subject like law. It is really important to write mock exams as well. And Sale of Goods Act, you just don't study.
Okay, so what happens to an unpaid seller? Da, 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 da.
That if you just read the page and just know, that is not enough. Like, you need to train your brain in such a way that if you get a question which is indirectly pointing towards unpaid seller, you'll still be able to analyze and get the answer and arrive at, okay, this is about unpaid seller, these are the points under it, and all of that.
On a side note, I hope you don't mind our guest today. Yeah, this is one of my soft toys. My sister's actually, but yeah, I'm not gonna reveal the name here, obviously.
Yeah, coming to foundation again. So first point number one, do not blindly revise. Do enough studying, ensuring that you're also training your brain to recognize the concept. It's not just about reading what's in the book, it's about understanding and being able to recognize the concept when it is given in the question paper. Because obviously, ICAI does not give you just a direct question paper. There will definitely be things that you'll have to actually analyze, like basically case studies. So, that is point number one. Okay, point number two is mock tests. Now, I don't think it is really mentioned enough about what kind of thing you're looking for when you're wanting to write a mock test. This point might be a little similar to the first point I said about how it's important to train your brain for that question wise thinking. But see, mock test, it depends on, again, as I said, what you want to really write it for. If you want the exam simulation, if you want someone to review and correct your paper and get the scores, or if you want it for the time frame, like to understand how the time frame and the system works. Personally, I wrote only one mock, which was from ICI. I'm from Bangalore, so I wrote the one which was given in the ICI Bhavan in Vasant Nagar. In my experience, in the with respect to the mock exam, it helped me with respect to exam simulation and the time frame. But when it comes to questions, not really, because see, the mock exam which I wrote, the questions difficulty level was here, and the actual exam that I wrote, the difficulty of it was here, which was a shock to me, because I always thought, I don't know, is it just me, or like, I always thought that, okay, mock exams are supposed to be at least as difficult or more difficult than the actual paper, right? And it was a shock to me when I saw the actual paper, especially law, that, oh my god, this is nothing compared to the mock paper. So I would, there is no exact number for how many mocks you want to write. It really depends on the individual, and again, which part that you want to train, exam simulation or correction. But I would say that write at least one, and make sure that you have at least get it corrected, because just writing and practicing in your home is not enough, because ICI correction is very different. It is also subjective, especially when it comes to law. So you need to, I would highly suggest that you write a mock where at least your answers are getting reviewed and you're getting marked, so that you know where to improve. Okay, so if I write like this is how much marks I'll get. So when it comes to correction from the ICI mock that I wrote, I think it was good enough. The thing is, I wrote the last round of mock and I didn't really have much time to take my papers back. They correct it and they'll tell you, they'll mostly give it to you corrected in like 10 days if you have taken the offline one. But I didn't really have that much time, because I hadn't really, I was left with a lot of concepts that I was yet to study. But as far as I know, the correction is not bad, but the questions difficulty level was not how I wanted it to be, as someone who was writing the mock and what I was writing it for. Now, point number three is mindset. You see, what I did was, I am a chronic overthinker and I get quite anxious during exams. which is common, of course.
But I feel like I took it way too seriously than the actual paper is. I legit almost chickened out from writing the entire exam on the first day, like on the day of accounts exam. I almost chickened out. I almost did not go to the exam hall.
Because of my best friend, thanks to her, really grateful. uh, I was having like a full blown anxiety, full panicked. I was like breaking down. And she helped me. She was like, no, don't worry, you've studied, it's okay, don't study anymore now, just go write it, we'll see what happens later. You've put all of these days of preparation, don't go make it go down the drain. And trust me, this actually happens. I also know a person who actually studied throughout her 12th grade and yet did not give her me exam because she got too scared. That is totally understandable, and that happens. Trust me, like, it happens. Until you enter the exam hall, you will feel scared. You will feel scared because you care so much, and that is totally fine. But what matters is you don't let the anxiety of it take over the entire hard work and efforts that you've put towards that exam. Okay, so making sure that you're calm. Okay, calm, please try to be. I know it's not easy, but at least don't make yourself so anxious that you forget everything or you just completely quit. Because no, 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 you should not quit. Quitting is not in the blood, not mine, not yours, so we don't quit. So make sure that your mindset is like, okay, you just see it as an exam.
Which takes you closer to your goal of becoming a CA. It is not your entire life. It is not the biggest exam of your life. You will write more exams in the future. I don't know what your career path is going to be, but if after CA you're planning to pursue something more, then obviously there'll be more exams. So trust me, it is not the entire thing. Like, zoom out, look into the bigger picture of life, and see that foundation is a small step. Important, yes, but small step. It is not the entire book. It is just a chapter or just a page. Okay, so that is one more thing.
Next point, I would say self-care. So basically, when it comes to self-care, I know sleep is kind of sacrificed in the entire process of preparation, which is understandable. But I would personally say, please, please, please try getting at least 6 hours, at least 6 hours before the exams. Like, I don't know about you, but if you're someone who's gone the entire 10 days before exam with zero sleep, then at least before exam, like at least 2 3 days before exam, make sure that you get 6 hours. Or I don't know what your minimum operational sleep hour is. Do not say that you're gonna, like, you can operate with zero sleep throughout the exam also. Not advisable, because foundation exam is not like every other exam, and those 3 hours will be very different from, your brain will work differently from how it works outside the exam hall. And sleep deprivation will very much affect your performance, so please ensure you get sleep. One more thing, uh, in this entire process of the grind, make sure that you're still not chucking your health out of the window, right? Apart from sleep, obviously there are other factors, like the food that you eat matters, yes, and also the other activities, like working out. Not exactly working out, I know it's kind of hard to do like a full-fledged workout, but at least moving yourself physically and going and touching grass, like getting a breath of fresh air, it really matters. For me, what I had done, I had burnt out so much that on the and I had also like sacrificed too much sleep, that I ended up getting a high fever in the economics exam. Literally in the economics exam, my head is like full on, like I am having high fever and I am barely able to sit. Okay, I did thankfully stick till the end, thankfully, but it definitely affected my performance. I was in a
State where I had to write the exam for 15 minutes, sleep for 5, wake up, and then 15 minutes write again. Please don't mind my pet dog Mateo barking. He's hungry as always, but yeah. So basically, I had to sleep, wake up, and do it again. That was really tolling and affected my performance. I know for a fact I would have done better if I didn't have a fever, but what happened was had happened already.
So please, I would highly suggest that you take care of yourself. And the last tip, I would say, kind of not spoken about enough as well, is how your mind goes through these four subjects of exam. You see, when especially like after your law paper, after your subjective papers are done, it's very easy to like kind of get easy or a little lazy and just not prepare completely, or not prepare with complete seriousness for the next two subjects, because you're like, oh yeah, MCQ. The, or if you're someone who's good at math, or if you're someone who's good at economics, that feeling is going to come, which is very natural. But I would say that please don't stop your intensity of studying just because you know the subject already. Okay, because that will lead to overconfidence, and you do not want to see how it will backlash. Like, I did do that for math. I did become lazy because law was so heavy for me, that I was genuinely scared if I was going to pass or fail. So it got so heavy for me that I was like, I definitely kind of slacked a little when it came to preparation for math and eco. So that is quite common, and as I said, not spoken about enough, because like even after preparing for how many other months, these 10 days of exam, the entire experience is very, very different. Like, you don't know what's happening. One day you're studying for accounts, the next day you write the accounts exam, and suddenly you have to unlearn accounts and relearn law, like the entire syllabus, right? So it is definitely like a very different experience and very tiring experience. It is easy to like get lazy and like kind of drop the intensity, but I would suggest you not to, because loki, trust me, your MCQ papers matter a lot. Like, generally they matter a lot because they will make up your aggregate. And obviously passing is one thing that needs to be there, obviously, but yeah, as I said, it makes up your aggregate, and you don't want to look back and be like, it was easy marks, I could have just coded and I could have gained more marks in my total if only I studied a little bit more. You don't want to regret that, right? So that is one more thing. And yeah, considering there's less than a week for your foundation exam, it is, as I said, common to feel anxious and scared. um, it's going to be there, but I know, see, at the end of the day, if you put the efforts, it'll happen. मेहनत किया है तो हो जाएगा. Okay, don't stress too much. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm sure, like, if you put the efforts, it'll happen. Keep a strong mindset, manifest success. Like, if you think too much about failing, like what you spend your energy upon, that's what's going to manifest in your life. So don't spend your entire time just being scared that you'll fail, because that will not help you in any way whatsoever. So just do your preparation, do what you can do what's in your hand, and do your part of the performance, right? Which is writing the exam. After that, whatever will happen, it will happen. That is not in your hands. So right now, just focus on what you can do and keep going until the last second. Even if the paper is tough, I hope it's not. I mean, it will be not easy, but I hope it is a good paper, a good series of subjects and paper. And whatever it is, like however the paper might be and however your preparation is, confidence and mindset is very important. Keep going until the very last second, until the very last subject. Okay, do not drop your intensity just because it's an easy subject, just because you studied economics in your 11th and 12th or PU. Until you write the answer for the 100th MCQ of economics, you should not give up. Okay, so keep going, and all the very best. I hope whoever is seeing the video, I hope it helped you, and all the very best. I hope all your efforts are fruitful. So until next time, bye bye. Take care.